changes in the laws in society almost give us a pattern of how things change. It's almost like a commentary for how things change. So we've got that 16th century in England, they instituted what they call the Buggery Act. Yeah. And this was that the act of sodomy was seen as, even before that, yeah, the act of a man and a man together, or a woman and woman together, was seen as unnatural, unacceptable, was socially unacceptable in every society. Now, in England, for example, at the time, in the beginning, if there was ever an idea that a man and man were engaged in sexual perversions as they understood it, they would be dealt with by the church. But in 1533, for the first time, that transferred to public law. An act of parliament was passed which said that a man cannot engage in sexual relations with another man. Otherwise, a man found guilty of that would be executed. Yeah, would be executed. So the law basically covered sodomy between men and men and men and women. So it's really interesting here that this act was not just about a man and man engaging in a sexual relationship. It was also about any act of sexual deviation. So a man engaging in a sexual relationship with a woman, which is not normative, meaning an anal relationship, that was also considered to be punishable by death. Yeah. So this Sodomy Buggery Act was not about people who identified as homosexual, even though the term homosexual hadn't come about then, people who engaged in the act of sodomy, but it was about anybody. It was not just about men who engaged in acts of sodomy, it was about anybody who engaged in these types of acts. And at a societal level, this created a change. Yeah. So the move from the church to decide these issues, from what they call ecclesiastical courts, church courts, to the public law, to actual state law. I think what changed was that it effectively transformed this act from a sin to a crime. So in previously in society, this was just considered a sin, and the church would regulate this and punish people based upon that. But then it changed from a sin to a crime. Now a crime is based upon what human beings perceive to be the law which people should live their lives by. But it's not necessarily the basis, that law is not necessarily based upon what is sinful. It's based upon what the governing organization of the age decides is perverted or is normal or abnormal. So this created a big change in society.